invite you to connect to this free webinar on how to enhance your career in 3 steps. This webinar will be presented by Virginie Hamsio, who is one of our coach at ECCRT. So I'm really happy to welcome her, and I leave you the flow, Virginie.
Thank you, Nell. So welcome to everybody, and thank you for your interest in this topic. So the webinar is about how coaching can support individuals in career development, and that's what we're going to discuss over the next 30 minutes. So my name is Virginie Hamtio. I have a degree of bioengineer, and I have always worked in pharmaceutical industry in different areas such as sales, quality control in laboratory, but also clinical trial management, study management, in the activity related to process improvement and training, and I have a current position in medical governance. In addition, I'm a coach in industry since 2011, and I'm doing coaching activity for ECCRT. And that's really the context of this webinar. For the webinar, I will turn off the webcam so that you can concentrate on the slides. At the end, we will have a Q&A session, so you can pose all your questions via the application. We will take your question at the end and address them. And at that time, I will reactivate the webcam so that it can be a bit more interactive. Nell, if there is anything not working on the technique, just let me know and we can adapt it.
Yeah, sure. And of course, I will also follow up any issues you can have via the question or chat system.
So before starting, what we would like to do with you, the question we would like to ask you first is, do you know what is coaching? Because we will talk about coaching during 30 minutes, but we'd like also to know a bit from you. So Nell is launching a polling question, and we'd just like to have your feedback on whether you know what is coaching or not. Okay, I can see in the pool that roughly 3/4 of the audience, so 73% know what is coaching. So that's really interesting also for us to have your return and your feedback. And 27% do not know what is coaching. If we go to the second question, for those who know about coaching, have you already been coached in the past? And you can also answer that question via the poll question. We see roughly that we have 50-50. So half of the audience have not been coached and half of the other have already been coached. So let's review together what is coaching. And the reference you see on the slide are really information, standard information according to the ICF, which is the International Coaching Federation, which define coaching really as a partnership between two individuals. One will be the coach, and the coach is someone who has been trained to use and to apply coaching technique. And the other individual who benefit from the coaching is called in our language the coachee. And it's really a partnership between those two individuals that will focus on a topic that the coachee will bring, a question that the coachee have, a challenge, a situation. And the partnership really focus on what are the different activity that the coachee could do to achieve really the goal, to achieve his objective. So the technique we use in coaching, we use a lot of questions. So the coaching will help the coachee to clarify the situation, help to explore the different options, help also the coachee to learn more about himself or herself, to discover also some more information. And that we do by using a lot of questions. The coaching also brings a structure. So it is not only a nice conversation between two people. It really, we have structure, we have technique, and that will help also to move the conversation. What we do also a lot in coaching is provide feedback. So because there is that interaction between the two persons, the coachee and the coach will also take the opportunity to provide feedback on the coachee on his presence, his way of communication, the impact he has in the exchange. So that's also a valuable source of feedback. And what we see is that really coaching is a methodology really to support people, really to be at their best, to help them to find their own resource to address the situation that they want to address. The coaching technique can be used on different topic. It can be used on personal matter, on business related matter, and we see that coaching is really used a lot in business and more in enterprise, in companies, but also at individual level. And coaching can be used, and that's the purpose of today's discussion, to look at your career. And that's what we call career coaching. So career coaching is really using the coaching technique to address a given question that the coachee will bring, and question related to a professional situation, a professional activity, a career situation, whether it's at the beginning of the career, during the career, or at the end of the career. And we will really start the coaching depending on the topic that the coachee will bring. So we really start by the coachee's demands. It can be any topics related to his or her career. Based on the activity we have, we see that typical topics that are bring in career coaching are individuals who want to start their career. So they come out of university and they know they want to work in a given area, but they are a bit lost on how to reach that area. So it can be really to start or to boost a career. It's also about releasing talent and potential. So to help individual to know more about all the talents they have, all the potential they have, and how to build on that, really to take the maximum and have maximum impact. It helps also to do status of the situation. So we can use technique that really analyze a given situation from different perspective, different angle, really to help the individual to assess, okay, what is the current situation. Coaching is also used to reorient your career. So people may have started a job in an activity that has been really rewarding and valuable for them, but at some point maybe they want to do something else, or within the same activity explore new aspect of the job. So coaching can also be used for that, to reflect about career orientation and career development. Coaching can be also a way to support in decision making related to work related activity or career choice. And it can also help individuals to address challenges. So today, every professional is facing a lot of challenges, and coaching can be a way to pause, step back, and really reflect on those different challenges, which can be take a new role, become a people manager if you have not used to do, change completely area of activity, any kind of challenges that an individual can face during a career. And as we said, there is no predefined topic. We really, in coaching, start the work with the topic that the coachee is bringing and really with the demand of the coachee. So it's really open. The topic that we can address are really diverse and open. One clarification is the difference between coaching and mentoring, because we see that there is quite often a confusion between both. So as we just said, coaching, the technique we use a lot in coaching is really to ask questions. Why? Because we want really the coachee to find his own solution, to find his own answer, and really for him to find the best way to approach the situation. Because research have shown that if one person find a possible solution to his challenge, that person has much more chance to be able to implement the solution and to be successful. So coaching, the purpose is really to help the individual to find his best answer to his challenge. Mentoring is different. So individual can also work with a mentor, and they can work at the same time with a coach and a mentor, but the activity will be completely different. The mentor is someone usually who has expertise in the area, who is knowledgeable, who have experience in the topic that is of interest for the coachee. And the mentor will give advice. The mentor will share example and will give advice. So it will give answer, give information to the coachee, while the coach will ask question, will help the coachee to find his personal and own solution. That's a difference between coaching and mentoring, and it's important to have it clear because sometimes there is a confusion also between those two activities. Coaching is a journey. If we look at the semantic of the word coach, coach is any vehicle that can take you from one place and bring you to another place. And that's exactly the purpose of coaching. So coaching is really a journey. And what we do during coaching, what the coach is doing during coaching, during the entire coaching assignment, but also during each coaching conversation, he use a methodology, a coaching methodology. And the coaching methodology is represented on the screen. So there are roughly 3 steps. And that's why the webinar was called How to Reflect and How to Enhance Your Career in 3 steps. The first step really of the coaching will be to clarify the situation. Because quite often we have a question about job or coachee have a question about a given career situation. But when you really dig into the situation, the question is a bit maybe something else. So the first aspect is really to clarify the situation, to be clear on what is the demand of the coachee. And once that demand is clarified, what is the desired outcome? What is the objective? What is the success that the coachee wants to achieve? That's really the first step because the best that situation is clarified, the more chance of success there is in the different coaching conversation and in the whole coaching program. The second step will be to, based on that given situation, and for the question that the coachee has about that topic, the second step will be to explore all possible options, to explore what are the different resources that the coachee can use, what are the different obstacles, how can those obstacles be relieved or overcome? Where are the different sources of support? So that second option will really go in all possible direction to really explore the different option, the different possibility. And that phase can take long time, can be short. We don't have any defined timing for those different phase, but that's always the same. We have always those 3 steps. And the last step will be the move to action, because one of the characteristics of coaching, it's also to help the coachee to progress in the direction that he wants to take and to move to action. And so the last step of the coaching conversation and the last step also of the coaching program will be to be really clear what will be the action, when those action will be taken, and also how the coachee can assess that he has been successful. So those are really the 3 steps that are representing the coaching methodology. And as I said, those 3 steps are used during the entire coaching assignment, but also during each individual coaching conversation. During those coaching conversations, the coach will use different tools, different methodology, different model. But the different skills that he will use permanently will be a lot of presence. So the coach will be really there to support the coachee. There will be a lot of listening so that the coachee can express the situation and explain. There will be a lot of questions because question is really the tool used during the coaching conversation. There will be also time to pause and to reflect. And there will be also a big part of the coaching used to explore what are the values, what are the beliefs of the coachee, because it's really when you work on the value and belief that you can find really powerful answer to your given question. And as we said, there will be also a piece of feedback where the coach can provide feedback to the coachee. There are key principles behind coaching, and that's really the standard of coaching according to which coach are working. First of all, it's really a relationship of trust. All information exchanged during coaching are confidential. So what is said during coaching remains between the coachee and the coach. It's not discussed outside of that particular conversation. There is a lot of respect and no judgment. So the coach is really neutral and will really help the coachee without having any judgment. And there is also really an open and direct communication between the coach and the coachee, because that's really by that way that the coach can really support the coachee in his reflection. What we would like to do with you now is a bit of practice, to give you a bit of flavor on how coaching conversations are. But because we are in a webinar format, because also of the confidentiality, we will not do a demonstration. But I would like each of you to take a blank sheet of paper or a piece of paper big enough to be able to write on it, and a pen. So I'll give you one second to find a piece of paper and a pen.
I will give you at least the two first questions you need to think about it. Let me just arrive to the question. The question was, where do you stand today within your career? And which question are you asking yourself? So where you are for the time being, and what are you asking yourself about your career? That's the first thing you need to think about it. So I see that she is not coming back for time. So just think about that and try to find it. These are the two questions you should answer for the time being for yourself. Then you have, as soon as you have this information for you, I would like that you decide to think about what is your desired outcome of objective. So what would be the objective for you if you do a coaching session regarding your career, and what do you want exactly with that?
As Neil mentioned, know that you have reflect on what is the desired outcome and what do you want. Write on the page, and that's the next click, write on the page what are the possible solution that you have. What do you need to reach that given outcome? What are the resources that you have, and where can you find anything you're missing? What would help you? So take a few moments to note down a couple of words reflecting that. And for the next set of questions, know that you have potentially identified what you need or what's missing. List 3 possible action, any type of action that you could take really to progress on this topic. And it can be anything, but something that will help you to move on. And you can be as creative as you wish. Any possible action that you can take to help you to move on about the given question that you have today regarding your career question or your professional question. And the next point will be, okay, know that you have those action. When can you take those actions? When can you do them? When will you do those actions? And that simple exercise was really just to give you a flavor, without the technical issue, of the type of conversation and question we have in coaching. And the methodology is really you define your given situation, you define where you want to go, you look in between the resource, the obstacle, the activities that you can take, and we do that opening yourself to any possible creative action. And then based on that, we identify concrete action that you can take. And if we go to next slide, you can see the feedback that we have received so far from people who participated to coaching and career coaching. Most of the time, the feedback we have from people is that it's really useful for them to just pause, step back, and reflect about their career or about their given professional challenge. That it's good to be able to explain the situation, because most of the time when you explain the situation and you phrase it, you can already clarify what is clear or not clear. That it's useful to have someone independent, being the coach, really to ask any type of question. The power of coaching is that the coach have no idea of your given work environment, and he can really ask naive question, and usually it's those naive questions that explore really the basic, the principle, the value, and the belief that can really be powerful in the conversation. All those feedback are coming from the coachee perspective. But if we go to next slide, we can see that it has also a big impact in organization. So more and more organizations are deploying coaching, either having coach in the organization, either working with external coach. And some organizations are doing metrics, are tracking, and there are publication about that. And what they see is that the coaching really supports staff to be more confident and to develop their leadership skills. It really helps people to be more motivated, to have a better sense of purpose and be engaged, because coaching helps them really to think about themselves, for themselves, but all that will also support the performance in organization. So that's why organization more and more use coaching as one of the skills, one of the technique to further develop their staff and to further increase the performance of the individual. And if we go to the next slide, the way we organize career coaching in ECCRT, there are two types of coaching. One focusing on really the start of the career, which is the career launch coaching, and one focusing on any topic related during your career, or any question you have during your career, or any work related question. The format is that first we have what we call an intake meeting, which is really a meeting between the coach, the individual who is interested to be coach, and ECCRT, where we discuss the coaching topic and see if coaching is the best way to address it. And that intake meeting is also an opportunity for the coachee and the coach to meet and to get to know each other. That meeting is free of charge. After, we have what we call a kickoff session, which is really the first session where the coachee and the coach will go really deep into exploration of the topic. What is the topic? What is the demand of the coachee? And that is really address and analyze and explore and clarify during the kickoff session. And after, there will be several coaching sessions. The duration and the format is defined between the coachee and the coach. And those coaching session will be either every 2 weeks or once a month or to be defined. And those sessions will really further explore the topic, the possible action that the coachee can take. And there will be also a follow-up and a progress of the different action between the different sessions. So that will also be a support for the coachee to see how it's progressing. And at the end, we have a conclusion meeting where we review, okay, what was the objective at the beginning? What is the stage achieved? And has the success been achieved? Or if not, what is missing to be able to reach to this expected success? And that we do at the conclusion meeting. And the whole program is around 8 to 9 hours of coaching in total. And I guess that, Nell, we can go now to the question, if I'm right. Yes. I will again share the webcam so that that will be a bit more less
Yeah,
impersonal.
we'll maybe leave you a few minutes to write some questions. What I can already say to you, I had a questions regarding, is it possible to make coaching session in groups?
So group coaching exists, but the purpose is different. So an individual coaching session is really to focus on the question that the coachee will bring. It's really a one-to-one relationship. When there are group coaching session, then it's a group of people who do not necessarily know each other, but together they will decide to address the same topic. So for example, you can have group coaching about leadership, about how to develop your leadership. And once you have that, then it's the same topic for everybody, but we use the coaching technique in group, meaning that you have the coach, one or two facilitator that use the coaching technique, and you have also the group that will work together on those given topic, and each member of the group will also bring his perspective. So it's different. The technique, the coaching technique are used are the same, but the format is different, and the team chosen is identical for every individual when it's in group.
Okay. Okay, I hope it was useful for everybody. So I have another question regarding, do you think that coaching can help people to prepare for a job interview?
So coaching can really help you to identify your talent and potential and really explore what is inside you. And that, in a sense, will help you to be ready for your interview. So that's how we will use coaching to help you to prepare. We can also use coaching to see what are the elements that you are scared of, where are your fear, and how you can work on those. So it's more the preparation of yourself that you can use coaching for. The first purpose of coaching is not to do the rehearsal of the interview. However, during the coaching conversation, if your coach wants to provide you feedback, you can do some tests, you can do some essay, and the coach can provide your feedback. But coaching and career coaching, as we have developed at ECCRT, is not mentoring on how to do the best interview. It's not tip and tricks to prepare interview as such.
Okay, and can we choose our coach?
So in the career coaching program in ECCRT, there are several coaches. So what is possible is that during the intake meeting, so when I said we have an intake meeting at the beginning, is that you meet the coach and then you see if the chemistry is going well, because the first discussion is always talking about, okay, is the chemistry going well between the coach and the coachee? And as such, you can confirm if you are comfortable or not to work with that coach. And if not, then ECCRT can propose you another coach. So yes, you can choose your coach. And to me, it's an essential component because you need to be comfortable and you need to be at ease with your coach. Otherwise, the coaching relationship will not be as optimal as it could be.
Okay, and what are the possible language at ECCRT for the coaching?
So people can coach in English, in Dutch, or in French.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. And then I have a last one, I would say, except if you still continue to ask some question via, you can use either the chat or the question system. We'll be happy to answer your question. Is the one I have now is, how about if we are not located in Brussels, because ECCRT is based in Brussels, so that's the question.
So the coaching can be, of course, be face-to-face, either at ECCRT office or at the coachee location. But we do also a lot of remote coaching via Skype, because today with the technology, if you have a good connection and if you have Skype, then we can totally do an entire coaching assignment via Skype. And it has been proven to be as efficient as a face-to-face session. So all possible options exist.
Okay. I have no other questions for you, Virginie.
Okay.
So I think you can conclude with the other polls we have, I think.
Yes, so we have no other question for you. So if you can go to the next slide and launch the poll question.
Yeah, first go to the, yep.
Because we wanted also to have your return on whether was this webinar useful? Did you learn something? Yes or no, because that's important for us also to know so that we can continually improve. So you can use the voting system.
So we have 88% of people that answer yes and 13% that answer no.
Okay, so thank you for that feedback. That's useful for us. And we'll also take into consideration the 13% so that we can bring new element and new information in the coaching program. And the second question is, would you be interested to know more about coaching? So that we know if we can continue to do those webinars and which are the topics we would like to explore. Okay.
So we have 63% of people that say yes, they would like to know more about it.
Okay. Okay. So thank you for your feedback. We can also use that to continue to reflect about potentially some specific topic or technique that are used in coaching and that we can share with you. So if you have any question or follow-up question, don't hesitate to contact us. So you see on the screen the email address, and you have also information about the coaching program on the ECCRT website. So don't hesitate to reach us. And we would like also to have your feedback, because your feedback is important for us. So you will receive a link afterwards to collect your feedback about this session. And any type of feedback is relevant for us.
Yes, so Virginie, I would like to thank you a lot for all you have done today. Despite the technical issue, I think it was a very useful webinar. So I think we can now close it. So really don't hesitate to contact us at ECCRT, so via info@eccrt.com. We'll be happy to answer to all your questions. This webinar will also be posted on our website under the free resources. If you go to the website, you have on a tab with free resources, and all the free webinars are posted there. So you will have access to it via the system. So thank you very much, and I think we can close it now.
Thank you, and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.